Hey indie game fans! This week seems to be the last big push for games in 2019, with again some long-awaited titles, a surprise release or two, and the completion of a long-term project which can be described as a labor of love. So here are the top 10 best indie games of the week. I was very pleasantly surprised to see VIRGO vs the ZODIAC on the list of new releases, since this is a Mario and Luigi style turn-based RPG which I've been looking forward to for months now, and initially only had the generic 2019 release, to the extent that I wasn't even sure that it would make it this year. Play as the villain here in VIRGO on a quest to restore the Golden Age by overthrowing the other ZODIAC signs. As is the case with its inspiration, while combat is turn-based, there are timed actions and counterattacks, keeping you engaged with the system. VIRGO has multiple forms that she can take, which, combined with a whole party of characters, keeps things interesting. Newly revealed is an optional shoot-'em-up minigame, all rounded off with a wonderful pixel art style.
The dark is older than the light. At last a day dawned, and we rose with this first light.
Ashen finally comes to Steam after about a year on the Epic Games Store, and is a Souls-like RPG where you play as a wanderer searching for a place to call home. It did review quite well, with an especially interesting take on multiplayer, since while there are AI companions who can aid you, you may encounter other human players but in more of a passive way, similar to that in Journey, where you can team up and fight together or just completely ignore them.
We will live in the new light rather than just survive in the dark.
However, this is a very grey and brown game, but I suppose it is in line with the mood and the genre, but there is even a base building aspect of sorts, since you can invite rescued survivors back to your town. Been quite curious about this, and I have not gotten around to it myself, so could be an interesting one.
It comes every night without fail. There are different people every time.
Let's get this done quickly. Get whatever the warden wants and get home.
But I recognize them somehow.
Another nice surprise is that GTFO is releasing in early access this week. This is a hardcore horror 4-player co-op first-person shooter led by the lead designer of Payday 2. First things first, the art is absolutely gorgeous with impressive mood lighting and very nice models. Play as a team of prisoners forced to extract valuable artifacts from underground areas overrun by alien creatures.
Want me to feel what they feel.
This is good, man. This is good stuff. It'll trade.
Everything trades.
Oh, fuck. To be honest, Eddie. Second! Keep your eyes on that door! Ah, shit, there's fucking loads of them!
Edging the genre forward ever so slightly, we have weapons and tool loadouts, and the ability to plan your expedition before setting off, as well as an element of stealth and puzzles, as you don't want to alert the horde, but can also set up sentry guns and defenses prior to a wave of enemies coming in. Perhaps the closest thing that we can get to Left 4 Dead 3, given that I played Payday 2 for so many hours myself, I'm looking forward to that next fix, and GTFO could very well be it. Frog Detective 2, The Case of the Invisible Wizard, is the second entry in the franchise of adventure games where, obviously, you play as a frog detective and set out to find clues and solve cases. The writing and the humor are the key points here, with it simply oozing charm, but the developer does plaster "this is a short game" all over the store page, so you know what you are getting into. This time, an invisible wizard has been ripped to shreds, so it is a classic whodunit, so our hero is on the case. Cute, charming, and wonderful. The first of two Shovel Knight entries this week is King of Cards, a full campaign where you play as one of the bosses from the original game in King Knight. As compared to Shovel Knight, King Knight has many other abilities such as a shoulder charge and a pirouette, and is a full-length campaign much like Plague of Shadows and Spectre of Torment before it, which, in a massive series of goodwill gestures, is releasing for free to all owners of the Treasure Trove collection. Rather than simply, in quotes, making another free campaign, the developers have even gone above and beyond, introducing a card game in this title, and I have said it time and again, Yacht Club Games have done wonders in building their reputation and stewardship of the mammoth franchise that is Shovel Knight. If, like me, you always wanted the complete experience from start to finish, now is the perfect time to dust off the game and dig in. Shovel Knight Showdown is the other half of the equation this week, with this being a platform fighter akin to Smash, but featuring your favourite Shovel Knight heroes, villains, and some new faces. There are over 16 playable characters, including all of the Knights of the Order of No Quarter, some of which are playable for the first time here. And on top of competitive multiplayer, there's also a story mode for each character, which alone is pretty crazy. Not a huge player of such games, but hey, it's Shovel Knight, and again, is free with Treasure Trove, so gotta check it out for sure. As mentioned in the previous video covering the best indie games of the month, Jamestown Plus is a remastered and enhanced version of the 2011 title, which is one of my favourite high-bit pixel art games of all time, since it is beautiful, the setting and theme interesting, and the core shoot-'em-up action very tense and fun due to the systems. I played through the original with my wife and had a great time, so if you can muster up 3 other people, I think that it would be pretty neat.
Ectoplasm exterminator, primo ghost eliminator, had a partner named Barrelware, until the sandwich got stuck down there. A legend of ghost prevention, getting sent down to the ghost dimension.
Dead End Job is a madcap look into the life of a Ghostbuster, where you have your trusty plasma blaster and your vacuum pack, and have to free officers, restaurants, and more from their unwanted visitors. Every ghost that you put to rest adds to your final bill as you chase your promotion and climb the ranks. Levels are procedurally generated, but no mention of roguelite in the description, so perhaps this will simply be an old school twin-stick shooter with a wonderful 90s cartoon art style. As the trailer shows, the music is pretty awesome, with writing that is supposed to be great as well.
He's got a dead-end job.
SUPEREPIC: The Entertainment War is a Metroidvania which satirizes the current state of the video game industry in an Orwellian society where after a series of forced takeovers, there's only one video game company left in the world, known as Referral, which is literally run by capitalist pigs, where free-to-play with microtransactions is the normal way of life. However, our heroes, a raccoon named Tenten and a llama named Ola, get a message from what is equivalent to Anonymous saying that there are plans for revolution, so they head to the corporate building to confront the pigs. We have your contiguous map, backtracking, traversal ability unlocked, and so on, but what I find to be most fascinating is the integration with party games that you can access on your phone via an in-game QR code, which will give you some added bonus but are entirely optional. Another case where I did get a preview key for a game and really enjoyed it, so take it from me that it is just awesome.
Nobody gets out of my domain, whether alive or dead. You wish to learn the hard way? Fine. Then go. Get out. Don't let me stop you.
Wasn't planning on it, Father.
Hades is a roguelite action game from developer Supergiant Games, and through the course of 2019 has consistently been a game that I go back to over and over again due to the early access roadmap, with major content patches being dropped every couple of weeks. This makes its long anticipated Steam launch, so for those of you who have not gotten it yet, it is a great time to do so. One thing to note is that somehow there is no updated trailer to show off how the game looks now, but it has improved tremendously and should hit a 1.0 release in 2020. The variety of the upgrades and the god boons that you can obtain is fun, combined with excellent art, music, voice acting and writing makes this a no-brainer, taking the #1 spot of the week. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share and subscribe, check out the recommended playlist or the best pick for you, and I will see you after the jump.